Well, howdy, Captain.
Now what are you doing?
Well, right now. Well, howdy, Captain. Here, hold on here. I gotta.
Now what are you doing?
Well, right now. There. Yeah. Didn't want to hear me over there. Let's see here. Trying to figure out why.
What? There is no why.
Let's see here. That's the stream key. And then modify. Okay. And then start. Okay. There we go. Evidently, it didn't copy the stream key properly. Alrighty. So.
There we go. There you go. Burp.
Yeah, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Lordy. So, how is everything going over there at the Vegetable Soup Studios?
It's doing pretty good. Just I gotta close the door. Hang on a second. Get water. Yeah, we're doing pretty good over here. Just hanging out, doing much and nothing. Same old, reading books, watching YouTube, trying to make videos, trying to stay off social media, really, which is kind of a conundrum since we this is really, it's really how we communicate, but it feels weird because, like, if I'm doing this alone, if I'm just in here recording like my show and I'm doing it by myself, it's it feels if I'm in here by myself, it's really hard to, number one, it's hard to stay on topic because my brain just scrambles, and it really feels like I'm just I'm really wasting my time talking to myself because I'm just saying shit that I already agree with. It's just like, why am I putting this out there? It's a weird antisocial social network conundrum that we are living under, since we seem to prefer to look at our phones and our computers over actual interaction with other beings.
Well, I can't. Yeah, for the most part, I'm going to agree with that. Because even if you go to a restaurant, you see a couple that you assume are in love. They're sitting at the table. Each one of them is looking at their phones instead of into each other's eyes. And come to find out, half the time they're texting each other instead of talking. Yeah.
Yeah. The nonverbal communication has become key.
Yeah.
Put those masks on.
Sorry, but I like to talk. I like to hear the voices too. Not just these ones, but like yours and other people's too. So.
I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I don't know how to absorb the word. You know what the problem is? I'm getting old. See, I'm almost like you. I'm getting old. So I gotta find music to hate and youth to yell out, "Stay off my yard!"
That's what I keep forgetting to do is yell at people, "Get off the lawn."
So I'm having what I'm going to determine is probably my 5th midlife crisis, which kind of sucks in its own way because that means
it's
I'm going to live to 115. Damn it! How about let's just start calling them near end of life crises. Crisis-y? What's the plural of crisis? Crisis? I'm looking at the word crisis. He is crazy.
Uh, I still haven't had my midlife crisis yet, so I don't have a clue.
You are a midlife. You're a walking midlife crisis, sir. You started your midlife crisis 2 weeks after you were born.
That could be.
Ongoing, it's an ongoing crisis situation.
Yeah, it could be. That could be
There's
it.
no mid. It's start to finish. That's what it is.
Uh, okay, I'll go along.
Welcome to another episode of You Must Be Joking.
Right?
Yeah. I hope we're joking. We're not joking.
I didn't think about that. He came over here to start looking. Where's the squeaky?
That was his cue. Come on in. Hi, Steve. Our one watcher. He's the watcher in the woods.
Hey, that sounds like a good movie.
Is it a movie?
I don't know. It sounds like a good one, though.
Movies. You're old. You remember what they used to call when like they had claymation King Kong and the fur would move because the animators
Would touch
were
it.
yeah. Do you know what that was called? It was animators win, creators win. I thought it had a specific name
I got
because
no clue.
obvious thing.
Yeah, I never did pay any real attention to that. I thought the claymation was pretty state of the art when they started doing that. Yeah.
Oh, it was fun. I loved the first ones that showed dinosaurs with their tails dragging and stuff. Now they don't do that no more.
Yeah.
All the dinosaurs lift their tails.
Yeah, there was I remember there was a TV show when I was young, only it was puppets, but it wasn't like the Muppets or something like that, or Sesame Street. You could actually see the strings coming down. They were all wooden puppets, and
Yeah.
so they were
Like
using
marionette. They
Yeah.
were marionette.
and but they had a whole TV show going on this, and a lot of it was in space. It was supposed to be some kind of a spaceship that they were in doing stuff, and I thought that was kind of cool. And then they came out with claymation, and that just wiped them out.
Claymation, the first step to animation.
Yeah. Well, no, because we already had like a Mickey Mouse and
I know.
that kind of stuff, but
I know.
but it was but it was the first step to live animation.
What's live animation?
Compared to today, yeah, there's
Dead animation, live animation. Look at all that. Hi, how you doing?
Well, it's kind of like Roger Rabbit. I would consider that live animation almost,
Oh, like Space Jam, where they intersperse live action with animation. I
Yeah.
liked the movie Wizards for that. In the movie Wizards, there's a couple of brothers that are having this big battle with each other, good and versus evil kind of thing. And the evil guy was digging up relics of the past, and they got a projector, and they found some film of armies marching against other people, and they would intersperse in the animation with this live footage of war happening. It's just like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the first one I ever saw that was like, to where they overlapped live animation or live video with animation was Lord of the Rings when it came out in the 70s.
The second adaptation, because the first adaptation was full animation, wasn't it? And then the second one had animation.
No, the Hobbit and the Return of the King, those ones were complete animation. But the Lord of the Rings, theatrical version that came out between those, okay, that they actually had live action in the background that they would, but it was all dark, and so you didn't actually see the people, but you could see the details and everything else as far as like the cloth and the hair moving and everything like that during the motion, but it was always in the background, and the smoke would be, and all that was real. But then they would go ahead and like Gandalf and all those guys, they were all drawn or animated. Yeah, if you ever get a chance, watch that and look at it. You'll see.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Like they have the live, and they've got this animated film on top of the live to highlight specific qualities of it. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
It was. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of things back there were just awesome. And then they come to today where everything is computer generated, including the people acting.
Well, yeah, God, was it? I think it was called Looker. Was this movie back? God, I want to say the 80s, maybe even earlier. But so the premise of this movie was that these models were coming to this plastic surgeon, and they were stunning women, but they needed micro fixes. These to the decimal. They had these, I need this here and this and that there to make perfect faces. And he wanted to know why. And I can't tell you. So he followed one time, found out that they were being digitally recorded so that they could be projected into films, commercials, whatnot. And then once they were fully digitally recorded, they were dispatched. That's coming.
No, I don't think so. Mainly because
make a digital recording of you, and then they'll be able to change it, age, face, whatever, younger, older, anything. And so they won't need actors in about 15 years when the digital age comes to a point where they can just recreate an actor.
Oh, what the hell is the name of that?
And they can just design it how they want. I want them to have this kind of look. Need them to have these kinds of features and a small scar right here. No more hours and hours in a chair. At best, you'll be your job as an actor in the future will probably be at best a motion capture actor, at best.
Trying to find.
Trying to find a reason to exist.
I gave up on that one.
Yeah, it still boggles my mind why we strive to have 100% employment when we should be striving for 90% unemployment. Wouldn't we be happier if we didn't have to work?
No, I think we'd all be pretty damn miserable, actually.
Really?
I mean, we might be happy to begin with.
Need to work.
Yeah, I think we might be happy to start, but I don't think that would last very long. I think we'd all just start going nuts, even more so.
No, I think if we could eliminate the chase of the dollar, that would be a great step towards global mental well-being. Because you don't see those people that don't use money in the Amazon suffering, being angry. They just hunt the monkey, they eat the food, they live, they die. Of course, they don't read or watch TV, so they don't really have to worry.
Yeah.
They're not listening to this podcast, so they're fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if we freed up...
That must be for you.
That's a number I don't recognize.
Okay, well, The one I was trying to find, I did find it. There
Okay.
was a movie that came out. Oh shit! It was, I think, after 2000, but it was before 2010. I'm sure. Anyway, called Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Okay.
Okay, and everybody in that movie was digitally animated. They were all 3D animation. All the vehicles, the buildings, the whole 9 yards. It was actually a really well done movie. And
Yeah.
oh, what was his name? There was a guy. They had actual actors doing the voices.
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland was one of them. You remember him from the Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
Donald Sutherland. Yeah.
Okay. And one of the other noticeable voices was the guy, the goofball from Armageddon. The one that was sitting on the nuclear warhead, slapping it, going, yeehaw.
Okay.
Oh, you never saw that, I can't take it.
What, Armageddon?
Yeah.
No, I saw it. I just don't know that actor's name.
Yeah, see, well, that's...
I know who
never,
you're talking about, Bashini or whatever his name is.
yeah, I never did know his name either. But
Yeah.
he had the other noticeable voice that you could recognize.
Okay.
And but the movie itself was done very, very well. You know, it was a good storyline. It was good acting.
There's a Ragnarok that's a digital animation movie. There was Keanu Reeves was in a movie that was
Oh yeah. Dark.
over
Dark
the
something.
line of action.
Yeah, it was Dark something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. It was like they made a card. They sketched each frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of neat too, the way they did that. I didn't really care that much for that movie, but but yeah, it was it was definitely different.
Couple of them. Like I said, they're moving that way. And if we free up people instead of chasing the dollar, maybe we can have better education and make more scientists and doctors and get to be a spacefaring race like Elon Musk would like us to be.
I don't know if he would like us to be or if he just wants to be.
I'll tell you what. If I could be, I'd solo that. Yeah. Once you guys stay here, I'm gonna go check it out for us. I'll report back. Wait for me to report back.
I'll write you a letter.
No, I'll come back and I'll let you know. When I come back, that's when you'll know. When are you coming back? Soon.
I'll write you a letter. Don't worry. I'll add extra stamps.
Can you define soon?
No.
Not later.
Soon, as opposed to later.
Sooner or later. I would prefer neither.
Here, let's try this one. That wasn't exactly what I was looking to do.
Psychobabble what? Murph. Woof. Uh-oh. What you got there? What was that? I saw something for a second, pal.
I think I can help people if I get my hands a little bit dirtier.
Sounds so unethical.
Your husband is emotionally abusive. Leave him.
What? Not
there it
okay. They could go ahead and go to hell.
Yeah, now watch.
The dream is always the same.
You okay?
It's getting better, that there, Andrew.
We found it. We're closing in on the life form.
Let's move out, people. They came to unlock a mystery.
Yeah, this
I
is
don't
the
see how any living thing could survive out here. They came to uncover an ancient truth.
This is it. Dr. Ross has opened the door for us.
I say we go in.
What they did
What the hell is that?
was unleash a force unlike the universe has ever known.
What the hell is going on?
Something's not right! It shouldn't be happening! We're surrounded! They're right behind us! Captain, come on!
We've lost contact.
Oh my God.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Nothing you've seen, nothing you've experienced can prepare you.
Look out!
Very fun, the animation.
Yeah, it was actually very well done. I mean, if it hadn't been jumping around so much, you'd be able to see more of the detail. They actually put,
Don't let them jump scares, man.
yeah, they actually had age spots on the old guy as well as
Yeah.
wrinkles. I mean, they went so much detail. It was amazing.
I wonder how time consuming that kind of animation is compared to when they used to hand draw each cell. Wonder what the hours worked on is comparative.
Well, I think the easiest way to
To do that is to Google it. How long did it take?
actually, I don't even think you'd have to Google that. I think what you'd have to do is take a look at the credits on, let's say Pinocchio for the animators and stuff, and then look at the credits on something like The Incredibles. Comparably the same length of film. But I'm pretty sure it's a much longer list of animators on that one.
Yeah, but
Well, they got to do the 3D rendering.
Incredibles back at the same time that you made the other one, same animator list. And if you'd have made the other one at the same time you made this one, same size of an animator list. And an animator list does not give us time worked on film. It just says how many people. Doesn't say that, because if everyone's working all at the same time, then you're really, I mean, you can multiply those hours if you want, but if each guy's working 2 hours here, 2 hours there, 2 hours here, 2 hours there, and it's not everyone all at once working all at the same time, then you can only add the hours, you can't multiply them.
Well, there is that, yeah.
So, hey, I was working on this. Can you see if you can make this jump look a little better? Oh, yep, I can add a little dust right here. Hey, can you make that rock look a little better? Oh, yep, I can make that rock look okay. Can you do this? So.
Well, the other way to do it would be to ask.
I mean, look at the list of animators on the most recent Lord of the Rings adaptation. That's a huge list, sir.
Well, yeah, but that's live action mixed with animation.
Still a big animator list. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they animated the whole world,
Yeah, animation's come a long way. I like it. It's all right.
I remember the first 3D animation I ever saw was Johnny Quest. The new Adventures of Johnny Quest came out in the 80s.
Okay.
And that was 3D animation. That was the first one I'd ever seen. I thought that was really cool. The cartoon sucked, but I mean, it wasn't like the real Johnny Quest, but the animation was good.
Yeah. I wonder how long it'll be until they can fake the voices too.
Well,
I mean, they already have every word that's been uttered. All they need to do is just get it on their keyboard and change the pitch.
well, let me show you something real quick here.
Good.
Yeah, that too. Pardon me, had chili last night.
All right, man. I'm just telling you.
Where did it go? Okay, this one will do. Hold on.
Here at Rubber.
No.
Okay, so. Okay. Now this one.
Chicken Radio.
All
We
the
are excited
voices-
to have the opportunity to do an interview with Michael Bott of the Michael
This is
Bott Band.
computer generated.
We will get the chance to get to know him and his music better. We will talk about his releases, New Rising Sun,
Even in computer generation, white people got a rhythm.
Yeah, this is all computer generated, including the voices.
Yeah.
as well as
So,
any
you
new
know,
projects,
we got-
releases,
we got
or gigs he has
15
planned.
years and we won't need actors.
Be sure to listen to Rubber Chicken Radio live at 12 noon on January 18th.
Sorry, I kept clicking over here, and I should have been clicking over there.
Yeah, about 15 years, we won't need actors at all. They'll just be like, and with the what's that chat GPI or whatever the hell it is, that it's just like write a script for this kind of movie, this many characters.
Well, I mean, they're already doing that with music, so why not movies?
Oh my God, 2 people writing all the pop hits. Yeah, I get it, man. I like I said, why are we crying about unemployment numbers being 14% when we need them to be 90%?
I don't know. Like I said, I think we would have a real hard time.
Be working. They can work. You know, I'm not saying if you want to work, go to work. But we're in the 21st century. Robots can do everything.
Not yet.
Let's let them.
Yeah, well, robots cannot do everything. In fact, robots right now still couldn't even do what's it called?
They could think of it faster than you can. Ha!
That they can do, yeah. Oh, hell. Where they move around and pick fruit.
Where they move around and pick fruit?
Yeah, the people move around from farm to farm to farm and, harvest fruit.
And migrant farmer work?
Migrant farmers, or migrant pickers, actually. But, yeah. The computers couldn't do that job, or the robots.
Yet.
There you go. And yet that's
but that's where the 10% is, because you got to understand that there are some things that are delicate that cannot be done by computer or robot yet. That's where the 90% is. If you got 10% of people building robots, maintaining robots, finding new ways to make robots do jobs that people are still doing, then you're going to have some employment.
Yeah, well, I still think I'd much rather have a human take a look at my apple and make sure it's going to be good, no worms, instead of a robot bruising
Why?
and trying to pick it.
You know, they run that stuff through x-rays anyway to make sure it's good. What's the difference between a robot pushing the conveyor belt on and off button or a human pushing the conveyor belt on and off button?
Now, I'm talking about bringing it off the trees.
Well, they bring all of them off the tree. As a matter of fact, there's some orchards where they have this machine on a like a bobcat that just shakes the tree, everything falls, and then they just scoop it all up. They're not looking to see if it's a full apple, a good apple, a spoiled apple, anything. That happens back at the sorting shop.
Well, and it's different when I did it.
Well, you know what? That's called progression. That's how life evolves.
Well, they still can't train hops without a people.
Still what?
You still can't train hops without people.
Hops?
Hops. You know, for like beer.
What?
Yeah, I used to work in the fields training hops too. And that's something a robot couldn't do.
Bro. Yeah, you can. All it has to do is come by and twist it around a wire. Same thing with grapes. Same thing with anything you want to train. Any plant that you want to train, you can make a machine that'll do it for you.
You'd have to have a human go through and everything, and because when you
got one human. That's part of my 10% that stay working.
Yeah, well, we got robots where I'm at.
They got robots at Amazon.
Yeah, and yet
they got robots at Fred Meyer, and you use it because you work there for 3 minutes while you're checking your shit out.
Yeah, there is that.
Every time I get in a line with a cashier with 3 items, they're like, "Why didn't you just use the thing?" I said, "Because I don't fucking work here."
Yeah, it's like Walmart. I think that they ought to start paying us every time we check out.
I think I should just be able to go, I need this, 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 and this. And when I come to the door, there it is, or even have it transported to my house.
Well, you
I'm
can
ready
do that.
for the generation of not going anywhere and not doing anything. Just let's go for another lockdown. Fuck it. Let's go for a lockdown. I will take my UBI. I will sit right here like a good little serf. I will order my shit online, and I will have subscriptions to things.
Well, there were times, I should say, that I did that. I'd have Safeway deliver the groceries a couple of times. Walmart, I'd go ahead and I'd do it online and then go there and pick it up.
Yeah, I've tried all
twice
of the techniques.
though. The last 2 times I got there and they didn't have my full order. They didn't tell me. They said, your order is ready, but they didn't tell me that half of it was not available. And so I got there and everything. I had to turn around and go into the store, and they couldn't find it there anyhow. So I turned around and went to a different one, finally found it, and it's like, well, there's no point in me shopping online to go pick the stuff up for it not to be there.
Well, that's why you have it delivered to the store you're going to be getting at, or you have it delivered to your house when it comes from multiple stores.
Well, that's why I don't do it anymore. I just go, and if they got it, great. If not, I'll go to a different store.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to embrace the future, and the future is let's all free ourselves up, man. Let's not make ourselves slaves on purpose. Let's try and free humanity. Break the shackles.
Let's try to be humanity.
Oh, humans have no humanity.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
why we have to keep ourselves segregated and secularized.
Yeah, well,
we self-isolate because we have no humanity.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be allowed to have animals as pets.
Well, I don't. He has me as a pet.
I see you got a dog right there. I got a dog too.
Yeah, and he has me as a pet. He doesn't do a whole hell of a lot for me, but I do an awful lot for him.
No, I just feed mine. He does everything else.
Oh, he's kind of
I pre-chew his food or anything.
Well, he's high maintenance, You got to scratch his butt, you got to scratch his belly, and you got to scratch his ears, and got to play with him, and it's just high maintenance. That's all there is to it.
High maintenance. High maintenance. That's what I'm gonna name my next dog. Maintenance. High maintenance.
Hell, I should have named a couple of my girlfriends that.
We need to join the spacefaring community that we used to have. Actually, I've been thinking about this cataclysmic cycle that they keep trying to press on us, and I see it because there is evidence, and if you really want to try really hard, there's evidence that there was a global civilization. But what they can't do is they can't date when that civilization existed, because you can't date the stone work. You can only date the stone.
Right.
So they know that the stones are super old, but they don't know when they were cut. So looking at the cataclysmic cycle and looking at how man rebounds, and you look at like Machu Picchu and how they have these huge monolithic stones. And then they have these not quite as big stones, not monolithic, but they're big. Like someone used machinery to move it.
Uh-huh.
Even if it was
block and tackle.
Yes, block and tackle. Thank you. And then you see little stones where little stone. I lifted this little rock and I put it in place. So it in these cataclysmic cycles, you can see that as humanity reclaims lost cities, they cannot rebuild their civilization to the skill level that the city was that they have now inhabited each time. Technically, we're getting dumber. Or the cataclysmic cycle is happening faster, and so we don't have time to advance.
Or it could be they're looking at it backwards.
That the less advanced civilization built the big stone places?
Yeah. What I'm saying is that maybe they're looking at it backwards. So the what they're thinking is the oldest is actually the newest. Because you think about it, we're talking thousands of years ago. The Egyptians, the Mayans, the Aztecs, they all made these huge monuments, and that we'd be hard pressed to today with the technology that we have, but they did it, as far as we know, by slave labor. Okay, and
well, that's what we're told.
Yeah, so. It's really hard to say. It goes back to where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, massive whips, lots of whips. But they say slave labor, but they also say that we cannot reproduce some of those things. Today, and we have all the labor you want. So why can't we do that?
Yeah, we got earth movers and everything, but we don't have stonemasons like they did way back when. We'd be hard pressed to carve a wheel with all the intricate carvings on them.
Yeah, and they want to pretend that the Egyptians built those pyramids with copper tools.
Well, the reason that they say copper tools is because brass wouldn't have worked.
The reason they say copper tools is because that's found all around there. But they've also shown that the copper tools that they were trying to use would not do the work that they're prescribing for them, unless you had, for every guy using a copper chisel, you had 5 guys sharpening a new copper chisel for that guy. Because it's like, dink, 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 new one, please. Dink, 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 new one, please. Dink, dink, dink.
Now, chances are, and everything, they actually use stone to carve stone.
I like those old pretend things, but you can see some of the machine marks on a lot of those old stones. A lot of them, you can see real machine work, and someone who's worked in construction for a while, I recognize a saw cut on a stone.
Well, there again, who's saying that they hadn't come up with like a rope saw, made out of steel or iron. You know,
because it's impractical and wouldn't work, probably.
well, I'm just saying, because a lot of people don't realize that, like the Indians, they use stones to create stones, to carve stones. They'd take one stone and use it to, and take.
Yes, but the Indians of the plains of the United States did not make monolithic structures.
No, they had no reason to.
They used little stones to bust apart other stones to make arrowheads, to make knife blades. And they also did that in Aztec times.
Yeah.
So why were they using stone to make arrowheads and stuff when they had the ability to erect such huge temples?
Why would they make those huge temples?
Ego?
Yeah, see? You just never know. Unless we were actually there, we'd never be able to tell.
Well, I mean, they make cities to make populations to make people rich. That's the only reason.
It's like, hey, I'm in control, so I'm going to do this thing, but actually you're going to do this thing, and you're going to pay for this thing that you do, and I'm going to take the money. Okay? Okay. Start working. We're stupid.
Yeah, that ain't the way it happened. The Richie guy says, we need something to do this. You look bored. Why don't you try it? Okay. And that's how that worked.
Robots. We need robots doing the work, man. We need to free up mankind. It would be better for our mental health globally.
Now, think about it.
I do think about it a lot.
If we didn't have to work, if we had machines doing everything for us, then that would pretty much be the end of humanity at all, completely. We'd all just fade away.
Only the people who can't look forward and past what is.
No, because
I'm just free to do scientific research or art or read or just lay around and do drugs till you die, whatever. But it's not going to be the end of mankind just because we've figured out how to stop being slave labor to either ourselves, corporations, manipulative governments. That doesn't end humanity. As a matter of fact, it's probably the first step towards real humanity, because then we can do other things as opposed to oppress each other.
Back in the 18th century, or well, let's go back to the 19th century, okay? Back to 1860, okay? They had horses, cows, ox, goats, sheep, pigs, this kind of stuff. They would plow fields, and they were, they ate well. They were strong. They lived a happy life. They raised families, a lot of kids to help work on the farms, this kind of stuff. Okay, and they started getting educated. They started learning more, sending their kids to school. And then that brings us into the early 20th century, okay, where we started having better weapons. We started building bigger buildings and better housing. We ended up with hot and cold running water, this kind of stuff. The automobile, okay, and. And again, people, were getting more and more educated, learning more, getting better at doing so many different things, until finally in the late 20th century, they came up with computers. Now, when I was young, we stored 1,000 telephone numbers in our head, okay? Now people can't remember their own telephone number half the time. They got to look at their phone to find out. Okay? the more that the computers do for us, the less we have to do ourselves, and now we can't do a lot of the stuff. These people can't read an analog clock.
Choice. That's by choice, because I can remember 15 phone numbers, all 10 digits for 15 people right now, because I don't store it on my phone. Whereas if I just meet someone who I may interact with in a business manner, I'll be like, hey, give me your thing. And then I put his name on there, and an adaptation is like Mark store. So it's like, oh, I got to go to the store at Mark. Okay, boom. So now I don't have to remember his number because I don't need to remember his number. I have got the convenience of this. But a phone number for my mother, now I have to remember that because she might not recognize me texting her or something. So I just got to be like, hey, Mom, this is me calling you from this number, and this is your number, right? This is still you. So, you know, it's by choice that we decide not to do things when we've got a convenience.
Okay. And yet now
we don't have to open up a paper map because we can just use our phone. But you can still go buy a paper map. You can still go buy it.
And the majority of the people can't read a map.
That's not a computer.
They can't tell time on an analog clock.
Kid letting them be stupid.
Because they don't have to know it.
Exactly. You don't have to.
Okay.
Learn something else, though. Choosing to say that that's the end of humanity just because there's machines that can make things convenient for you is a cop-out.
No, not really. Look around.
Cop-out.
Okay, people, back me up on this one. Okay? Even when you and I were younger, okay? Almost most of the people were actually in pretty good shape because we got out, we ran, we swam, we rode our bicycles all day long. You know, we played baseball, football, basketball, whatever, and we just had a ball. We played with each other, played kick the can, hide and seek.
People still do these things.
Very few. Most of them will do it on the computer or on a video game, and now they're getting fat. Obesity is at an all-time high.
It's on my blog. I don't know what's going on here by your church, but over here, I got a plethora of children that play on the street.
You go to any one of these schools around here, and you take a look at the kids, and I'll guarantee you that there are more obese kids, overweight children,
you're going to blame
we've ever had in our lives.
Computers for that. You're going to blame computers.
Yes.
For people's obesity.
Yes.
You must be joking. No, it's obesity. There's quite a few factors. One of them being that everything we eat is processed. And number two, you can't put the goddamn fork down.
And because you're sitting watching television and the computers and this kind of stuff.
A lot of people go for walks. I see people jogging. I see people walking their dogs. Yeah, you don't have to sit there. You don't have to. If you make the conscious choice to just sit there and get fat, you're going to sit there and get fat. If you make the conscious choice to stay fit, you're going to stay fit.
Yeah, but it's no longer really a choice because the kids... Never mind.
Not a choice. Not a choice.
When we were young, we were able to go out and do all this stuff. Now the kids can't go out and do all that stuff because there's nobody to watch them and take care of them. They're liable to get stolen.
Nobody watched us and took care of us, and fear-mongering that every kid goes outside and is going to get abducted is just crazy. It happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it happens a lot more than what it used to.
Yeah, if we're going to live in a jail, then yeah, we're going to be, computers will be the demise. But if we can actually be free and understand that life happens, we don't have to be in cages our entire life. The computers can help us. Robots can help us. We can, and believe me, I understand. Nature will find a way, and it will settle itself out. If there's 18 billion people on the planet, and all of a sudden everything is computer operated, a lot of people are going to die off. Just going to happen.
Yeah.
Nature will find a balance.
Yeah, and we won't be in it.
No, I'm not going to be in it, and I don't. These people that have 15 kids, their kids aren't going to have 15 kids. Computers and robots that make their life easier, they might have one.
Well,
nature balances itself out.
Yeah, it'll probably end up being more like Demolition Man.
I'm hoping for a cross between Logan's Run and THX 1138. Or with a little bit of Soylent Green.
I'm thinking more like Demolition Man. Yeah, we have 5 kids to a household here, but there you put on the headset and grab a towel. That's it. Don't even have to have sex anymore.
Demolition Man, when you want to have a kid, you go do the designer baby. In the book, it says you go to the clinic, him and her, and you put the things together in that tube, and then you come back and you get a thing. It's a designer. See, now they can do that here too. You do that here now. That's not Demolition Man stuff. That's now. That's already been. As a matter of fact, they've been able to do that for a while.
Yeah, I was talking about where she wanted to have sex with him, and it was all that headset.
You're talking about the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about the book.
Never even saw the book, let alone read it. I would imagine, though, it is a much better story.
But yeah, it's. I mean, we can fear a future of relaxation, or we can embrace it. And I understand there's going to be trial and tribulation, struggles and troubles. Shit, there's going to be poor people always. There's going to be people living in the sewers. There were people living in the sewers in Demolition Man.
Yeah.
So let's not pretend that a utopia for this person is as good as it is for that person, because Jeffrey Dahmer's utopia is way different than, say, Adolf Hitler's. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's the thing about utopia. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work for everybody. Might work for this, might work for that group, might even work for a large amount, but there's always going to be that fringe element, and that fringe element breaks the utopia.
Yeah, well, it's like the old saying goes, okay? One man's heaven is another man's hell.
One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter.
There. That too. But it's just people need to stay busy, though.
Yeah, but just because you no longer have to go to Walmart and deal with the guys walking around the aisle that don't know what the hell they want doesn't mean that you're going to become unproductive, sit at home, jelly-minded, just pushing buttons on your computer. You can make the conscious choice to go out and become a sculptor, or go to school and learn engineering and become the next scientist that sends rockets to the next solar system. You don't have to just sit home and become a sleazy vegetable Joe.
Yeah. You can actually make a conscious decision to be a good person, to treat other people with respect and consideration and all this, but they don't.
Kindness is absolutely free.
What?
Kindness is absolutely free.
Yeah, it is. And yet people don't put in the effort to make that conscious choice. So what do you think they're going to do as far as anything else? They're not going to make a conscious choice to do anything right.
Well, that's because that's the social area that we are in right now. Yeah. Things can change. If people talk better, things will happen better. If people continue to talk bad, things will continue to be bad. That's just how it is.
And the better our communications has got, the worse the world has got.
I haven't been on social media all week. I don't check Twitter. I don't look at Instagram. Don't look at Facebook. Don't look at that. I was like, man, I just just reading my books and having a good time, hanging out with my girl. Social media isn't social, and it's barely media.
Yeah, well.
Hi, everybody watching. Thank you for watching on social media. Believe me, I understand the hypocrisy that I am spouting right now. It's amazing. The pile of hypocrisy is almost as tall as the pile of bullshit. Almost.
Yeah, and when veg is actually on social media, it is no longer called social media. It is anti-social media.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah. Now me, I'm sociable.
Look, I mean, we're all a bunch of we're isolated socialists because we're by ourselves, but we're together. Oh, look, it's us here. Virtual hug. Yeah, go away.
Yeah. See, I
Well, we choose it. We choose it.
yeah, I go around. You know,
And
I
I
see
understand.
people. I talk to people.
Put it out there.
You know. In fact, I went over to see a couple of friends the other night.
Yeah, I had
Actual face to face even.
I had a friend over the other day cooked a pork tenderloin. Oh, it was so good.
Now I went and saw a couple of guys. Well, a couple of friends, I should say. One was a female, the other one was a guy. But yeah, we talked for a few hours, and it was pretty good. So haven't seen them in a long time. It was nice. So
see, you can get out and do things. Computers don't kill everything.
No, but the lack of need, I think, would be detrimental to the human race because only the only the bad people would get out and do anything. I mean, like right now, most of the people that go out there and everything are stealing people's shit off their porches.
Yeah, you know why those people do that? Because they don't have jobs. And you know what happens if everybody doesn't have to worry about having jobs? They're home to stop those people from doing that shit.
I wouldn't be. I'd be off doing other stuff.
Okay, well then you don't have shit coming to your door if you're off doing other stuff.
That's why I have cameras on the house.
I'll see. There you go. Computers making your life easier. See? Let's pretend they're not. Let's pretend it ruins humanity.
No, but if nobody actually had to work,
you know what would stop those people from coming
never mind.
to your
He ain't
porch
listening to shit no more. What?
You know what would stop those people from coming to your porch and taking things?
Yeah, shooting them.
Well, that's one way.
When you stack the bodies up out there,
for them to come because they could actually go get it themselves.
Wouldn't matter.
Uh-oh. Everybody calling. You're on the air.
No, you ain't.
Go away, we're drinking.
Don't know who it is. Don't really care. I answered one earlier and everything, and they were trying to get me to, what was it? Oh, yeah, they wanted to refi the house. I get tired of telling them I don't want to refi. Yeah.
But they want you to because they need to make money.
Yeah. And it's 10 grand every time,
I guess there'd be a lot more scam callers if everything was run by robots.
Well, shit, half the calls are robots.
Bring it off the hook. Scam caller. God damn it.
Hell, half the calls I get are robots too,
Yeah. Yeah.
And as soon as I hear the robot
conversation,
as soon as I hear the robot voice, I hang up because I figure if they don't have, if it's not important enough for them to talk to me,
right?
It's not important enough for me to listen to them. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, see, and that's the same with like the cars. Once the cars become fully automated, there's still, people. I'm sure there's going to be nefarious people doing bad things with that too, driving them off cliff, making them stop at the green lights and stuff like that. There's always risk, but you can't walk around in a bubble. You just can't.
No.
You can want to. You can want to.
Nah, living in a bubble would not work for me. Just
no.
But yeah, I mean, the whole thing that scares me about the fully autonomous cars, okay, is, we've got hackers everywhere, right? So you got a fully autonomous car out here, and somebody, does a little hacking, and next thing you know, your car drove off.
That's what I said. Drive off a cliff. They stop you at a traffic light that's green. They just make congestion happen on the freeway. There's always going to be something nefarious that can be done with anything good. It's like, hey, why'd you make that knife? Now somebody can get killed with it. Well, I needed to cut my steak. I'm sorry that you moved there with your thoughts. But
there is that, yeah.
Because see, when I think of autonomous cars driving themselves, I think, hey, now I don't have to worry about driving home from the bar because I'm a nobody. No one's going to make my car drive off a cliff. Okay, well, then what if they stop it in traffic? Well, you know what? If I'm in an autonomous car, I'm probably doing things that you can't do when you're driving, so it's no bother. What if you're there for days? Well, I can get out of the car and walk. What if they lock the doors? I can break the window. What if they're bulletproof? Jesus Christ, when will you have a scenario that's good and not bad?
Okay, well, again, with the fully autonomous cars, what happens if the one you get goes into depression and decides it wants to drive into a river or a lake or off a cliff?
And that's, if I can't get out of it, then I guess I die with it in its depression. Yeah. And if I do get out of it, then I order another one.
Yeah, and tell them you want a happy model instead of the depressed model.
Yeah. Hey, can you send me one of them happy Kias instead of this depressed Mercedes?
There you go.
Why is the most expensive car is so unhappy? Well, you said it. It's expensive.
Money can't buy you happiness.
Oh, that's a fucking lie. Anyone who says money can't buy you happiness, give me your money. That'll make me happy. You just bought my happiness. Thank you.
Yeah, I always got a kick out of that. Money can't buy you love, but it can rent it.
Yeah. Well, nothing buys you love, but you can definitely get sex guaranteed with money.
Yeah.
You might not like it. They might not like it, but money was traded and people got the funny feeling.
Yeah.
Everybody like that funny feeling.
Nah.
What's that comedian say? Money can't buy you happiness. Well, I've never seen anyone frowning on a jet ski.
I was frowning on a jet ski once.
I've seen someone frown on a jet ski when they got ran over by a boat and almost cut their foot off.
I hit a wake and I ended up doing a nosedive down into the water. And when I came back up, my sunglasses were gone, and I just bought them that morning.
Frowning on a jet ski and now squinting.
Yep. But I still had a good time,
This is not a squint of happiness. This is a squint of missing my brand new glasses.
Yeah, it was a ball, though. I had a lot of fun. I ought to go out there and do that again. I ought to get a jet ski and do that. Might do that in the next couple of years.
It's easier to rent because that way you don't have to haul it. You don't have to maintain it. You just rent it.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah. See, that's the society we're going to. You rent, you subscribe, you order online, you have delivered.
That might not be oh, wait, no, because I just remembered my wife doesn't even want to learn to swim.
2 life jackets. or you can both go, but you'll be out on the water and you won't hear her.
Yeah, but it'd be so much more fun to have her on the back of it, just like on the motorcycle. So she Slow down.
She'll hold on tighter with no life jacket on.
Yeah, no thanks. I kind of like her. I think I'll keep her. But that's not a bad idea. I imagine that there's some places around here. Well, I was thinking like Moses Lake would be a really good place to go in the summertime to do some jet skiing.
I guarantee they got a jet ski rental over there somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
I've seen people tooling around Moses Lake on a jet ski. Soap Lake, Upper Soap Lake.
Yeah, I might actually check that out. That'd be fun. I haven't gone on a jet ski in quite a while, so.
All right. Well, I got to get back to this phone call. That was my bank.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
if they're going to be giving you money, get some for me too.
Okay.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So
Okay,
we're
well,
running. It's been an hour.
yeah, I see that.
We've been discussing things that are crazy.
What?
Because I'm crazy. What? Nothing, sir. Anyway, this has been another episode of You Must Be Joking.
Right?
Give us all the outros. Do the things with the stuff. You can email Gary at Rubber Chicken Radio. You can email me at veg at Rubber Chicken Radio. You can email suggestions at Rubber Chicken Radio. You can straight up just call.
Or text.
Or text.
So leave a voicemail, 253-254-6664. And we'll get back to you.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm bailing. I will talk to you soon.
All righty. We'll catch you later.
Bye, Steve.
Bye.